I've kind of started to realize, oh, I'm just a microphone. I actually don't exist. I've decided to live my life as a microphone, a megaphone for my mom.
But then the self-awareness now, like, okay, that was my choice. And when I became a mom, even more so. So now I'm like you, like, I don't care what the fuck they do. I just want to be happy. Like, just be happy. And I want to, what your mom does, like complimenting you for 2 weeks for opening the door when you were 9 and just making you feel like the best person ever, but yet still held firm.
Accountability.
All that.
Yeah, like you've got it figured out. Like, and this is what's so amazing, right? My mom is, obviously you know this, never on my content, super quiet, and like, in some weird way, I think the GaryVee phenomenon is, you know, if it's a phenomenon, it's that's a pretty audacious thing, but like my awareness growing exponentially and a lot of people listening to me, I'm starting to realize, like, in my unbelievable admiration and love for my mom, I kind of almost feel like I'm just playing in between. I've kind of started to realize, oh, I'm just a microphone. I actually don't exist. I've decided to live my life as a microphone, a megaphone for my mom. My mom's not gonna tell everybody how to do this. She's insecure around her accent and many other things that immigrants that come to this country in their 20s and 30s have. She's quiet by nature in other ways. She doesn't want to be in the front. However, what she did and how she goes about it is the answer. So I am actually now gonna take that, and all I'm doing is giving that same advice, taking the best of both my mom and dad, because it really is that truth. And that's how I'm kind of almost starting to go in that life. I'm like, oh, I'm just the megaphone of my parents.
When you parent, what percentage of you is mom versus dad?
I'm probably following the tracks of my life. I'm probably right now disproportionately my mom, and sooner than later I'll be more like my dad, much like what I went through, which was the first 14 years of my life was only mom, and then the next, kind of 15 years of my life was heavily dad.
You're bagging ice for $2.
Yeah. My dad did things for me that absolutely allowed me to be the enigma that I am for somebody who is such a self-promoter, gift of gab, sizzle guy. I'm convinced, which is tough to say out loud, that the things I most despise in people with charisma, I actually am, and that the parenting is what did it. That I was willing to lie, to sell. And that would have manifested as me with girls, and that would have manifested me with product. And I know this because I did it. Because at 14 and 15, I lied to sell wine. I just did. Yeah. And so the fact that I got lucky and came into a father who looks at embellishment as a cardinal one strike, if you embellish to my dad, if D-Rock called my dad and said, right now, Sasha, you'll never believe this, 80,000 people just watched that clip, and the actual amount of people that watched that clip was 78,000, my dad would never trust D-Rock again.
Wow.
Yeah, so think about, I'm being serious. Think about what I'm talking about.
Wow.
Yes, we're talking about extremity around. So I went from gift of gab, fucking, what some people think I am when they first see 1 minute video, to being suffocated.
I was gonna say that word, suffocated. Did you feel suffocated?
In a great way. At the time, it was fear. I was fearful to embellish or lie to my dad. So it just started getting me into practice to not, which ironically had a countercultural move too. It made me not to everybody else, but made me to him, ironically, at times as well, because I didn't want to deal with the ramifications of delusional suffocation. So I started transforming over the next 15 years to the world, but to my dad, his hyper overreactions conditioned me to actually want to not tell him things. So it went from lying to not telling. Because I wanted to navigate, because I also wanted to protect everything around me, employees, our vendors, our customers. I knew that he has this. I read the situation. Yeah. But ironically, it made me have to be less transparent with him to make it palpable for the world.